In this video, I'm going to show you my favorite practice papers and show you how to save money on watercolor paper. Let's dive right in. So normally I like to use 100% cotton paper for my watercolor, but as you know, that can get expensive, so I like to supplement with pulp paper so I can save some money. I like to use cotton paper for final projects, client work, or anything that I sell, but for practice, I like to use pulp paper. So things like drills, exercises, warm-ups, color swatches, studies, thumbnail sketches, especially if it's something that doesn't require a lot of water. I do my first couple of versions first on the practice paper, and then as I work my problems out, I'm not worried about spending too much money on paper. And once I finalize everything, then I'll work on my final project on the 100% cotton paper. You can also use pulp paper if your work is meant to be scanned and printed. Just remember that pulp paper and cotton paper handle water differently. So as long as you know and are aware of the differences, you can go from pulp paper to cotton paper to pulp paper without any issues. But if you're easily confused, I recommend just sticking to one, either just sticking to cotton paper all the time or sticking with pulp paper all the time. That way you don't get confused about the differences in how the paper absorbs the water. The paper I use the most is Canson XL watercolor paper. This is from the same company that makes Arches. I like to get it in the 9 by 12 inch size, which is a comfortable size for me to work in. The Canson XL paper comes in 30 sheets. This paper is usually available in lots of places like Walmart or craft stores like Michael's or Joann's or online. This paper is really smooth inside and I like this paper a lot. No matter what kind of paper you're using, another way to save money on paper is to buy the largest size paper that you can. So sometimes I buy Canson in these big giant size pads. This is an 18 by 24 inch size paper. What I do is I buy this large size and just cut it up as I need. So I'll cut it in half and then in half again, and that is a 9 by 12. It does take more time to cut the paper up, so if you are pressed for time, then this might not be a good option for you. But if you have time and want to spend a couple extra minutes cutting up your paper, you can save some money that way. It also gives you the option of just using a really large size paper if you need to. This paper also comes in a 90-pound weight, which I don't recommend, but if you're working with kids or in a classroom setting and you have a tighter budget, that might be an option for you. Next up is the B watercolor paper. This one is also 9 by 12 inches and 140 pounds, but it comes with 50 sheets. This paper is new to me and it has a rougher texture that kind of is more similar to cotton. So that part is kind of nice. I don't know if you can see the texture on the camera, but it's a rougher texture, more like cold pressed cotton paper texture. So this one I was able to get it at Walmart as well, but it's available online too. This next paper is my favorite practice paper. This is the Fabriano Studio watercolor pad. This pad comes in other sizes, but I have the 11 by 14 inch size, and it's 140 pounds, 50 sheets, cold press. The reason I like this paper so much is because it's a pulp paper that has 25% cotton. It's a really great compromise between pulp and cotton paper. It's kind of the best of both worlds. So it has some of the properties of cotton paper, but is not as expensive as actual 100% cotton paper. So I like this kind of practice paper for when I'm doing anything that requires a lot of water, or if I'm doing landscapes and stuff like that. Because when I work on this practice paper, it actually performs much more closer to how the Arches paper or any other cotton paper performs, because it has the 25% cotton in it. The only downside for this is I haven't been able to find this in a local store yet, so I've only been able to get this online. I've linked all the materials in the description below. If you found this video helpful, make sure you press the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you can get more content like this. Thank you so much for watching.